What is up, fully charged TCG? Today we are taking a look at the London first place winner Lim Deck. I know, crazy. First place was Lim, second place was Lim. So apparently Lim was the deck to play for this London regional for One Piece. All right, so now we're jumping into a game with Jewelry Bonnie. This hand is interesting. Bonnie chose to go first, so we're playing on the not so good curve. I don't really know how important it is to check my lives, but I feel like if I was gonna change this deck up at all, I would probably he's good to have early on. So is a Nell. So is my entire hand is. I will do you to get out of this. He plays Tashiki. Interesting. We're gonna do this. So this deck does, in the form of Newgate, have a pretty solid what? Oh, two more rested characters. Oh my god, that's the biggest misplay of my life. I hate everything. That was so bad. Yeah, I'm gonna save that. That was just so bad. I can't believe I did that. Okay. That just makes me feel awful. Okay, it's okay. It's fine. I think we just take Sakazuki, right? Or do we take another? We're gonna take Sakazuki, big board Sakazuki. I think so. I think we're gonna take Sakazuki. In this case, we're gonna swing. That's fine. That is absolutely fine. We're okay with that. One Rested Dawn, one of these. So I'm still learning this deck. First time ever playing this deck, so that's number one. Let's see. If you have two more rested characters, this character is active. So actually, I get to go you, then you, then you, and protect all of my characters. That felt really good. That felt really good. And if you don't attack this character, you get so much value out of this one drop Lim. You have to. And like that, it just feels like a big waste of an attack. It's not, because you have to remove it. And if you swing the 5k, I block, and then you gotta swing. So I get it. Doesn't even concern himself with attacking. Okay. So I have to have two more rested characters for this, but the fact is I have a pretty big combo here. For 9, where I get to play out the Sakazuki and the Newgate. So that feels pretty good. So we'll just put one here and we'll swing. Just be like, we're gonna pressure you. Oh no, now I have two or more rested characters. Sure. Newgate, rest, KO. Nothing you can do about it. Then Sakazuki KOs a 5 or less. We get to play that out and pop that. Then we're gonna go in after the Bonnie. Then we're gonna pressure the leader. So full board, all 5k pluses on board. I can see where this deck has some legs to stand on based off of this. Set you to active, set both. You both stand up. You both get to do your things. Okay. How do we get over Newgate? Or Kid, not Newgate. I don't need to cheat anything out, actually. So I guess this is where we just take a turn off and we're just pressure his hand. Yeah, I think we just take a turn off and pressure his hand. That's 2. Like, you might get to keep this kid, but I'm not going to leave you with much else in hand-wise. Yeah, she gets to restand herself anyways. So, another 8K swing. And in turn, they both get to restand. I still have 3 cards in hand because they've not been pressuring my hand. I still have 4 life. They're down to 3 cards in hand. I have a full board. They're going to swing at my Lim. Big Dofi. Big Dofi would be my guess. I'm okay with taking 1. I'm okay with taking 1. Okay, 9 cost Shanks, which just KOs. And then he's going to probably swing 9 into my Newgate would be my guess. Because going for life doesn't feel like it would do much. I think that it's a little too costly for me to save my Newgate. 7, 8, 9, 10. It would cost me 3 cards to save Newgate. Okay, we'll let the Newgate go. It had to be done. Okay, so... Plus, we can just reflood our board. We can reflood our board pretty easily. So that's not too concerning. So 8. We're gonna swing. That's fine. Okay, he gets KO'd. Play. 8. We got through. So now we start pressuring leader. Play the Sabo down. In turn, stand those 2 back up. Now he's in an interesting position. He could play another kid. But that just feels like more stalling. And he wouldn't be able to do too terribly much damage to me. I mean, some. Swinging 5K life. I'm going to let that go through. Because I want to be able to protect one of my other characters if he does go that route. Sabo, if you have 3 or more rested characters, you get to draw 1. I might be getting 10 cost Dofi, so I'll let it go. That makes sense. Okay, I have nothing that I need to flood the board with. He has 2 blockers. I only get 1 attack. So that is the rough part. If one of your opponent's rested Dawn will not become active, I could prevent a second 10 cost Dofi from happening by dropping this Nami down. Because I don't want to get Dofi'd again. But Nami's also a 2K. This is tough because he has a very dangerous board state. I almost feel like if I swing at all, he's going to rest one of my characters. And then I have 1 character remaining standing up, you know. But they both restand themselves. So that almost doesn't matter. Yeah, that almost doesn't matter. So since they both restand themselves, I'm going to force him into a situation where he has to block, I think. And then I'm going to play the Nami so he can't tank off Dofi. I think that might be... You know what? I don't think that matters. We're not gonna play the Nami. Yeah, we're not gonna play the Nami. Because then he can't tank off Dofi, he might just go for game. I'd rather him tank off Dofi because he's panicking rather than do that. So bam. Restand both of them. I have a blocker. They have 3 attacks. I have a blocker and 2 life. So a Hody would be rough, but that would also leave him in a position where he can't combo too much. power because Hody's 7. Rest my blocker. Throw. Yeah, I mean, I could save him because that would be okay, but I'll let him go. 11's too much. Now if he swings 10, yeah, I'm cool with saving him. Because now it's like, if you 10 cost Dofi, that's all you're doing. I'm still gonna have multiple attackers, and you don't have a way of getting your active Dawn standing back up. So 9, you got him. Don't know if that helps you much. 2, oh, yep, double blocker, pretty good. Except I have him. Yeah, so I just get to win. Because I should get to win. We'll see if it's enough. It depends on the cards in his hand. Okay. And then it's just, do you have enough to get out of it? Do you have 2? You don't. GG's. That was dope. All right, so we're gonna do one more game here. We got Reiju pulled up here. They chose to go second. I'm going first. I'm gonna keep because I have the 1-drop Lim. And this is just such a strong turn 1 play. Absolutely love it. Restand it. Pass over. After this game, we'll do a little discussion, talk about what I kind of think about this leader. Have I changed my opinions on it? Initially, I just always felt this leader was bad, and we're going to go all over that at the end. But right now, I'm going to focus on trying to win this Reiju game. It's going to be pretty interesting because Reiju can be a pretty tough deck, and it has a pretty some pretty nutsy combos. I'm not going to say that Reiju is A tier or anything like that, but it can be a pretty strong deck. The thing that I don't like about Lim is how everything is 2 or more rested characters. I would prefer if it was just exclusively locked to Odyssey and didn't have the specification of it being rested, because like right now I don't get no value out of him. I don't get no value out of him. It's like, it's kind of weird. So I'm just gonna swing for 5. It's kind of weird, like I don't get none of their effects if I play them, unless I choose to no reason swing with my 1-drop Lim, and that's bad. So what I'm actually gonna do is end up ramping and then playing down the Ado, and then just restanding him, because he's the only character that it kind of doesn't matter. His value does come from 2 more rested Odyssey players. This one is not only rested, but has to be Odyssey, but at the same time, it doesn't matter because we're not attacking with him this turn, so who cares? It's pretty interesting. Reiju keeps a large hand, can go very aggressive, and has a lot of 2Ks. So this will be interesting because throughout all my playtesting with Lim so far, because I have played some games also off camera with this deck in between recording sessions and kind of getting the feel of it, is that you can get rushed down and you can just lose to being rushed down. And that can be kind of rough because you need a couple turns to establish your board, and then they need the stick, and then you kind of overwhelm them and swarm them. But you can definitely be rushed down, and that's scary. That's the thing about 4-life leaders, but that's more of a 4-life leader thing, or anything less than 5-life leader thing. It's like here I can either go down a life or I can give up a card, and I don't really want to give up a card yet and go down with just 3 cards in hand, but I will combo out of the leader swing. I'll combo with the Dracula to get out of the leader swing, and we'll go from there. I would really like a top deck of Newgate. That would be welcomed, or a top deck of Lim the Searcher. That would also be really good. But I didn't get either, but I did get the blocker, and that is going to help us. He's going to gain the buff once I play out the 3-drop. So think I will start with gaining 1 rested Dawn and playing the Dofi. That way when I swing, I do get my value. He's going to be going up to 5 Dawn. I'm trying to decide if there's any purpose in... I don't think so. So I think what we do is we swing 7. Try to break into this hand size a little bit. Try to break into the hand size a little bit, and then swing 7. And we're going to apply the pressure back because both of our characters are going to restand, and that's tough. That's tough. He's got the new Foxy character in it. I want to revisit the Foxy Pirates. We will restand him first, then her first. Sequencing is very important with the Lim Deck. You have to sequence things very correctly, which I kind of like that. I also have enjoyed it being a different play style as well than, you know, other decks. Okay, here comes down the Ichiji. Such a strong card. Let's see what else he can kind of pull out this turn. So I'm going to get a 6, 7, 5 swing. I think that we're going to get out of the 6, take the 7, and also get out of the 5. Give it to 2K. And then, of course, take the 7. Because it is what it is, what it is. So we're going to start off with a 7K swing. I'm kind of ignoring his board because this is a lot easier to defend. So kind of just have to ignore it. Now I can go ahead and do effect to play a Nell and draw a bunch of cards. Top Notch is actually good in this situation because I can just bottom deck. Yeah, bottom deck the Reiju. So we're going to keep the Top Knot. I almost think we'll get rid of you, and I guess a 2K. I don't need you. The Top Notch is going to get rid of that. So that's 2. We're going to attach there. We can go 7. And then we're going to top knot to bottom deck. Get rid of the Reiju. In turn, we're going to do him, and then if you have 2 or more rested characters, he's a little bit harder to kill, so we'll leave him down. Cool. I feel like we're in a really solid position here. They don't have that much Dawn to like buff up their characters. They only have 1 solid character on board. Obviously, they could easily get into like 2 more characters this turn, draw more cards, and swing. So that's obviously something that they could do. They're starting off with Germa Searcher. That's fine. They got the Ichiji, which totally makes sense because they're going to want to play out as many rush characters as possible. But the trick is they're in an awkward position where I could almost just go for game next turn. They do the Foxy play. I could almost just go for game next turn. Like, if he wants to hit me twice, let him hit me twice, and then just go for game. If he doesn't, try to get my board. So I almost feel like it's more... yeah, I'm cool with that, but that feels odd why he did that. That feels odd that he did that because I feel like now it's pretty easy for me to win this game. We're going to start off with a 7K swing. Just ignoring board again. What you going to do, buddy? That'll take him down 2 cards in hand, no matter how we look at it. And then I still have 3 solid attacks. I get another 7K swing for just a 1 Dawn investment. Then I can just load up on the last 2 swings. And that should wrap up the game, unless he gets some type of insane trigger that prevents us from going through. Okay. So we want that for 7. Okay. We're going to poke for another 7. Wow. So I can definitely see where this deck can be incredibly strong. Going first, you have some insane curves. If you get the good opening hand, which is basically this Lim plus almost any of the other characters, with the best ones being Sabo and this blocker for early game, I feel like, because this is going to let you draw. Even though I didn't showcase Sabo too much in this plane, this gets you early draw. If you have 3 more characters rested, this can get you early draw, so you can like Lim first turn, second turn play this, and then your following turn you can pop out potentially 2 more characters depending on what you have, and then continue to just start drawing cards with Sabo. And if they don't remove it, every turn you're drawing an additional card, which is really strong. You also can get down this blocker, which basically this coming down so early can prevent a lot of early game damage. And if nothing else, you can go Lim, and then you can drop this Lim on 3, search out something else, and just keep the chain going. It's very, very strong. And any one of these cards, like really any one of these 3 here, the Sabo, the 3-cost Lim, and the Doflamingo, if you get any of these 3 plus this Lim in your opening hand and you're going first, the game just drastically changes to your favor because you can apply a lot of pressure. The downside to this deck is that against blue, against blue specifically more Boa than Dofi, but Dofi as well, because Dofi slowed down a little bit. You can have a rough matchup where you just run out of steam because they can just constantly Gravity Blade, constantly remove multiple of your characters, and there's nothing you can do about it. And if there just comes a point where you can't spit out enough characters to keep up with it, so that can be a very uphill match. It's not unwinnable. And every match that I played tonight, every single one felt winnable, and I really like that about the deck. Yeah, for sure, it felt winnable. Things that I would say, when you don't curve out, when you don't get the right combination in your opening hand, it's rough. It's rough, and that to me is very scary. Playing this type of deck across a regional tournament, the 2 players that did that and got to first and second, my hats are off to you, because I feel like over a 9 or 10 round tournament or plus, if it's like a 2-day tournament, this deck feels like at some point you would not win dice roll, or you would not get your Lim combo off early enough, and I could see that totally folding. Cards that I would personally lean towards wanting to remove and find better placement. I'm not a huge fan of playing this card to search this card just to know it's in my life. I feel like that is good to an extent, because especially if you're running like top knot here, like checking your deck and be like, oh, my top knot's in my life. The issue is you One Piece, on like Pokemon. So Pokemon, you check your prizes and it's so critical. But One Piece has triggers, and while knowing that a trigger is in your life is great, you're still gambling on which spot in your life is that particular trigger. And that to me kind of makes searching the deck and knowing what's in your life a little less valid. This deck especially is running all 4 ofs except for the Smile and the Top Knot. So it's like, as long as like all 4 of my Lim isn't prized, or all 4 of this Lim isn't prized, which is or lifed, is really all that matters. Chances are every card you need in your deck is going to be in your deck. I don't see the point of like searching this out just to know if this card's in there. This card is also probably a flex spot in my opinion. You could cut this for something better. I could see a world where you include like 8 cost Kid inside the deck, because even though all your characters come in played and rested, dropping 8 cost Kid down, and then attaching 1 Dawn to him, you don't care that he's rested, right? So I could see a world where you add like an 8 cost Kid, or you add a 10 drop Dopey just for locking, even though it comes down rested, just to have an extra effect to kind of stall your opponent. But the deck does feel pretty solid at this low to the ground version, and I would probably lean towards playing this myself, with the exception of cutting the apple and seeing if there's a better 2K that I could put in. So yeah, definitely give this deck a try if you haven't yet, and I'll see you guys in the next video.